Hello everyone. On the case scenario for case 19, all A's are not enough. For number one, it says, what do you think about the way Mr. Adams handled the conference with Senora Scott when they first learned the decision of the NHS Teacher Review Committee had created a potential problem? In this particular scenario, I think Mr. Adams could have handled it a lot better. Um, when one of the teachers or anybody that runs a committee, whether it be a coach, whether it be a cheerleading sponsor or anything like that, NHS sponsor, tells you that there might be a potential problem, then you should take that serious, because a lot of times they know the situation, and they know exactly how parents are going to react when situations like this happen. So in my view, he could have come up with a preemptive plan, a little bit more proactive on how he was going to handle the situation. I think he did a good job of listening. He could have done a lot better job of actually being proactive and coming up with a plan on how to handle the situation before it even got to that point. That goes hand in hand with number two. It says, should the parents have been notified prior to the NHS induction ceremony that her daughter was not going to be tapped? In this situation, I think all parents of the students that were not chosen should have been notified. I think the teachers, the members of the committee, the principal, and the sponsor of the committee, which was Miss Senora Smith. Oh, I'm sorry, Senora Scott. Should have come up together and laid out the results of the selection process, laid out a specific rubric to actually show parents why the students got the outcomes that they did. Um, Parents want facts. Parents want to have no leeway in opinionated decision making. So when the situation came up of the student should have or should have not, I think there should have been a specific rubric laid out um, that was more concrete. So definitely parents should have been notified. Um, Number three, it says, who needs to be involved with resolving this situation? I think, again, going back to Senora, it should be Senora Smith, it should be the principal, and it should be the committee being convened back and actually coming up with a rubric and laying out the specific reasonings and outlining the reasonings why students made it or did not make it, and have concrete evidence um, based on a specific rubric that should have been created. Number four, how should Mr. Adams handle the parents' announcement that she has an appointment with the superintendent in the morning? I think Mr. Adams needs to take advantage of the meeting being in the morning and actually get a hold of the superintendent that evening or as soon as possible before the appointment in the morning, and explain his side of the story, explain the situation that he's about to encounter, or he or she, whoever the superintendent is about to encounter in the morning, and lay out all the facts that Mr. Adams knows about the situation, and explain that to the superintendent. As far as Mr. Adams dealing with the parents' threat to see an attorney, I think Mr. Adams again should go straight to the superintendent and make him aware of what the parents are threatening the school with or the principal with, and have the superintendent take matters into their own hand. But again, coming from the experience of documentation, and Mr. Adams should be prepared with all the proper documentation on how the committee actually make these decisions, come up with a rubric on how to handle these situations, or follow, and when making these selections to these clubs or honor societies or anything like that. Documentation is key. Our decisions cannot be opinionated or not documented, when we know that these committees do cause potential or have potential to cause conflicts such as this.